Hello, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Oh my gosh, you guys, I just went to Costco and I ran into a wonderful old friend I hadn't seen in a couple years, and her son is like in kindergarten, and the last time I saw her was a baby, and she's one of the brightest, happiest souls out there, and it just warmed my heart. I forgot how many awesome people are on the planet, and it's so nice to run into ones that just, they're by nature just awesome and warm and energetic and caring and amazing. And I was so happy to see Pauline. She is a gem. And part of it had to do with this. Like, I almost didn't go. I have this weird, and comment down below if you guys are like this too. I have a weird hang up about parking, and getting delayed in parking means like, oh, come to Costco with me. And I was thinking, oh, I don't want to be like wait in the car while we're trying to find parking, all this and that. And then I thought, you know what? I feel like there's a reason I should go. And I was just following my bliss with that, not only to keep him company and, spend time with him, but I had this feeling that I was going to run into something, or there would be a situation that would benefit me. And that's exactly what happened. But I released that rigidity of that mind story of things are going to be complicated or annoying. And I really had free time. So I was like, why not spend it with somebody you love? And look at some of the great stuff. The Costco is crazy. I love it, but everything's so gigantic. But the big boxes of chocolate are out for Christmas now. All the beautiful mums. It was just like, oh, a menagerie of awesomeness. But I love this because, sometimes we get frozen by a disempowering inner voice, right? It tells us things are going to be too tough or too complicated. And that's when we become rigid, where we're like, well, we're not doing that because that will happen. So releasing that. Also, I love this saying, whenever you need a break, you see that lovely orange cat just having a nap. When you're tired, just check out. You don't need to answer emails. You don't need to be over obliged to other people. Really look after yourself. And also, if you find yourself again getting too militant and thinking I need to do this or I have to do that in order to then relax, just give yourself a little more flexibility, because the least rigid we are, flexibility is really, it creates such a buffer and lets go of anxiety and other things, because we don't feel like I have to have this done by this time. This phantom tug of war with time ghosts, if I'm done by this time. And we all have that. It's weird. Time is just some weird construct, but we think, I don't relax and watch TV till after 6 p.m. because that's what normal people do, or whatever it is, that type of thing. So I feel like we can move towards uncharted territory and initiate good change and be inspired, all of those things. But we do sometimes have to be careful not to be overwhelmed by options. Just give yourself fewer options. Like, I'll talk myself out of a great idea because I'll be like, if I'm going there, I could also do there, and I should do this. And then all of a sudden I feel mentally overwhelmed. So one or two simple prospects and then moving towards that, whether it's a home project, you want to clear out rooms, do something of that nature. Christmas shopping, I know a lot of people get overwhelmed at that time. Just have much more flexibility and rest in this, which brings us to the gorgeous just be. Allow yourself to just be. Like, I must look absolutely bonkers when I go to the nature center, because I think I'm in The Sound of Music, and I love to just swirl around because the canopy of trees is so gorgeous there, and I just swirl around. Most of the time nobody is there, and I feel like the other people that might go in there to see the butterflies and the things are similar to my disposition, where you just want to dance around in the trees because they're so awesome. But just standing there, the smell, it smells like pine tree, it smells like ocean spray, it smells like flowers. It is the most heavenly scent on the air. And like, I remember we were just watching The Rings of Power last night. It said, when all else fails, trust your nose. And that's one of the reasons I find that place so appealing and beautiful, because it smells like heaven. It smells like every natural element all blended in this wonderful elixir at once. So allow yourself to, if you find yourself reaching and doing and maybe overburdening yourself, just stop and just say that word, just be. Look out a window and allow that breath and expansion of outdoor enter into your lungs and into your vista, and create space for yourself. Lots of time, lots of air, all of that, just being. That's why I think people have such healthy dispositions down the beach when they're in their beach chairs. They're hardly stressed out, are they? They're looking at this beautiful ocean vista, waves, just hearing that everything is soothing. Sight, sound, smell, everything is conducive to being restful and just being at the beach. So Forest as well. You know, if you have a little beanbag chair or a little chair or something, you can just plop out in your yard or down a lake, river, beach, just sitting there and think the happiest, most wonderful, imaginative thoughts that you can. Create little things in your head. I create little like mind manuals. Like, what do I want to do that's A, going to inspire me and help me learn, B, give me peace of mind, grounding, and calmness. I always find when I'm making jewelry and dealing with crystals, feel immediately calm. Anything to do with nature as well. And also when we transition out of that, releasing rigidity, like, oh, I do this at this time, I always go to the gym at 5. It's like, try to, you know, jumble up your schedule a little bit, and you might be working out of cycle. And when you work with your cycles, when you're most energetic, when you're most verbally astute, whatever it is, when you work in the proper cycle, you look forward to that, because that's when all your resources are more available to you. I know I feel my strongest physically, like between, it's so weird, like between like 11 and 1 o'clock, and then later in the evening, 7 and 9. So that's when I'll fit in a walk or gym or something of that nature, where I'm definitely more cerebral. The middle of the night, I can learn really well. That's a cycle. And sometimes you just sit and be. I love that too. Just sit and ask myself, what do I want to do? What do I want to create? How do I want to feel? And how do I get there? You know, what steps do I take to get there? And that's finding grace. You know, I love that so much. That is that beautiful pause when somebody's not thinking and they say something pretty thoughtless or callous, and you don't have to react, because finding grace says, whatever this person is saying or doing right now in traffic, honking, has nothing to do with you. They are completely concerned with their needs at the moment, yet they're trying to pull you into that whirlwind of emotion. And when you find grace, it doesn't touch you or bother you. Your inner light is shining for you, saying, you know what, I don't really think my involvement is required in this, because it's not a good place, so I'm not going to visit it, right? If you saw this beautiful shining bastion like castle like they have in the Elven Woods, or you saw this scary old haunted house that was really eerie and creepy, it's like, what are you going to want to visit? And that, what does that tell you about your mindset? I know a lot of people are really big into haunted houses and stuff, but I mean really spooky, like you sense almost like danger. Of course, you're going to go to the place that brings you peace and calm, and there's beauty, and we can find that in our head. I love that too. If I'm waiting in line at some place that isn't the best, like at a DMV, I will literally find grace by transporting myself to the last place that I was that I loved, the last conversation I had that I loved, the last thing that I tasted that was great and I'm excited to cook again, something of that measure. And we can always find that and just be like, I'm going to healthily detach from this moment, because it's not ideal for my mental state, and just be, you know, I just call it like being almost like a gentle presence that's not really fully plugged in. Like, you don't have to take your juice out of you to supply to somebody else. And that's basically what they're wanting to do when they act up. You know, they want to drain your battery pack. So you disconnect, healthy detachment from it emotionally, so you can be there logically. You ever hear a logic person in any kind of debate as opposed to an emotional one? The logic usually wins out, because they are not sucked under by the emotion. And that's how you find your grace. You're just like, yeah, non-compliance in this kind of wacky energy. I'm just going to observe. And if I have to participate, it's with a healthy detachment. I love that. And this actually brings us there. They all connect. When we release rigidity and we're in flow state, we are able to just be, which means we are a calm or collected self, which means we find grace. So it conserves our energy. It conserves so much. It makes us feel better. It makes us a more available person to family members and friends as well, because now we have the bandwidth to really be present with them, because we haven't exhausted ourselves with all the shenanigans going on elsewhere. So my beauties, that is what you are meant to hear today, and I hope you guys have a great day and a wonderful weekend. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to press like and subscribe. I want to thank you guys for your great comments. And I love these cards. I remember when my buddy from Tigro Tarot sent them over to me. He's so lovely. He sent all of them. They were the crystallary, the herbiary, and the animal ones too, the bestiaries, and they're beautiful. The artwork is wonderful. The books are great. I just find them to impart really beautiful messages. So y'all have a great day. Love and light.